Your name, what you do? You want water? Let's get you water. All right.
My name is Akira. I am currently a student, but I own my own small business. My question really is for your food bank, which I'm really interested in, because I don't know how many people actually do use TikTok, and they trend that looks like people just go to food bank just because they want free food. So how do you plan to determine who actually needs this food and who that do not need this food? Not that you know, like they can afford to purchase for themselves.
By the way, clap for Dora. She's her late father is a really great man, born king, amazing man. So can we celebrate her? Her mom is also here. Good to see you, man. Amazing. Well, one of the things that I think when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it, because when it comes to helping people, you never really can totally be able to say you can decide, but when it comes to food, right? Because somebody can look good and you don't know what they're going through. I told you of, we haven't eaten, my brother dressed up in suits, right, and had to be selling vegetable. I mean, if you inform anyone that we have not eaten for days, will anybody believe? It was a student that is a graduate. You know, the assumption will be that no, you are not really struggling. And we see a lot of that in Lagos. Lagos and Abuja is packaging. A lot of people are going through a lot, right? But everybody is just packaging themselves. So I think when we get there, we'll cross it. Those who are managing the food bank, we figure out a way to make sure that we can track and we can, at best, at least you've gotten it once, we can track to be sure you are not coming back again or something like that, yeah. But thank you for that question. Okay?
That's a great question. And of course, it's good to see you. And of course, it's surreal. So I also knew your late father as well. Great man. Great man. Any questions again?
Can we give her the mic?
All right. Is your name, what you do, and your question?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Johanna Adeleka, and I run the training consulting firm. At this stage of my life, I can say my three children are established. I don't think any money but at this stage, they don't. So my question is, at this stage of my life, what could I invest in? Because if you invest in property, you're going to leave it for your children. I don't necessarily believe in that one, but is there anything that I can invest in and get the return now, and it's going to be worth it for me?
Good question, and thank you for that question. That's a very good question. So we currently are doing a $200 million expansion in the US. And we've got institutional investors giving us $140 million. So we are doing what we call syndication. Another word for it is crowdfunding for about $60 million. And what we're doing essentially is to say, you can invest, right? We are building the houses. It's our house, but as we rent it out or as we sell it, part of the profits we're able to give to you. And we agreed on a certain number of years, minimum 3. It can be 6, it can be 10, and then we still return your capital back to you. And because it's in dollars, you are assured. It's unlike in Naira, where there's devaluation and issues. So I think that's something that appeals to someone like you, because you have your capital, you have your annual returns or 18-month returns. I think we have some brochure. Unfortunately, I want to apologize. My team did not pull what we call to action on the brochure, right? But I think they've used marker to put numbers. Is it there now? Okay, good. So you can see there's even timetable, like a breakdown. If you invest X amount, this is what you get, and numbers to call. But yeah, and it's a sentimental project to me, because I don't know why we haven't had Nigerians do that big in real estate. I didn't even know what we're trying to do until we entered Houston, and Nigerians who have been doing real estate said, how dare you, start this big. We'll be here, And I said, look, this is part of why racism continues. You can't end racism until you end poverty amongst black people. You cannot end racism until people of color start doing big things and people can see that, the color of your skin has nothing to do with the quality of your mind. Do we agree? Yes. Right? And that we are people of color does not mean we can't do great things. And I think that's really how we begin to change the perception of people about us. All through my media engagements in the US, I dress this way intentionally, right? So that they know it's not all Nigerians that are, scammers, that are yahoo, that are, some of them are real estate developers, real estate investors. And it's beginning to change the perspective of people about us. So I think these are types of projects we should be proud of. Because beyond that, we'll make good money. It's also that it's a project you can say, hey, I'm happy to have, been part of this. And I hope it's something you will consider.
Gianna, does that answer your question?
It does, and I'm so proud that
Thank you.
you are a billionaire in Nigeria.
Thank you.
But also you mentioned the importance of integrity.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we lack. We lack it in Nigeria. We lack it in diaspora. And I think, someone like you is changing the whole, the whole idea, the whole narrative of being a businessman with integrity. So
Thank
I
you.
hail you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. We're going to have testimonials as well in a couple of minutes, as we are getting a full house now. A couple of our dignitaries that we're expecting are arriving before we unveil the books as well. As you can see behind me, you have the account details. Each of the boxes is going for 100,000 naira or its equivalent from wherever you are in the world watching or listening. And you can do much more than that. The profit of the proceeds are going to the food bank, so you get a chance to change someone's life. You will be shocked how many people are going through certain things. They don't look like what they're going through. Is it the adage or the slang? It came from somewhere. Thank God we don't look like what we're going through, because people are going through a lot. All right, and if it's food that you can take off the table as one less thing to worry about, then trust me, this is something that is worth being part of. Do we have any other questions? Let us know who you are and your question as well. In as much as it is about real estate, it's also a life coach kind of session, because everything is intertwined. Your business, your personal life, your ethics, what you represent, they're all intertwined and they all come together to give that personality, that brand, that product, that person of integrity that does business. Sometimes the greatest investment you have is your name.
Yeah.
All right? It might not necessarily be that degree from Harvard, which is not bad, but would you rather work with someone that has integrity and is from a polytechnic, or someone that is a crook and got a degree from Harvard? So those are some of the pertinent questions. Yes, the lady at the back. Your name, what you do, and your question.
When you're sharing your dreams, you don't believe in you, you're just like, I don't think it's real. Or you yourself, I think that's it. If yes, how are you able to do it?
Great question, Anya.
Great question. Have people doubted me? I just told my father-in-law, looked at it. I told my wife that, look, this guy is going nowhere. So, most people didn't give me a chance because I didn't look like somebody going somewhere. I didn't look it. There are certain people who look intelligent, you just could tell. I did it. I dress badly, I look Like, I mean, I grew up in the north, so even my tenses, everything wasn't just merging, right? I was speaking with a pastor recently. I can even say publicly, Reverend Victor Adeyemi, and he said, I know you a bit before we met. I think we met 6 years ago. He said, I've been studying. He said, your words were big, right? But, it wasn't matching. He said, I watched you in the last 6 years close the gap between your words and what you are doing, right? So for me, it was that I knew that we're going to do great things. I was talking it, but all I had was the words, right? The rest wasn't there. So it took a while for the result to begin to match the speech, right? So did I doubt myself? Yes, I had reasons, occasion to say, am I sure? But I didn't have a choice. You see, some of us have a choice. Some of us didn't. Right? We're down. I told you now, 2 days we didn't have food. Now, I had myself and my brother, we still have 3 siblings. They needed to eat. His wife was pregnant. She needs to eat now. A pregnant woman needs to eat.
And the baby in her.
And the baby in her. So we both just had to go to the street and start pushing. Right? So we didn't have a choice. And I think if you are here and you are finding yourself go back on your dreams, it's probably because you have a choice. You say I have one uncle somewhere deceiving you or sometimes sending you something. But if you really, really are down, you have nowhere else to go but up. Does this make sense at all? So for me, yes, I doubted, but I didn't have a choice. I just had to keep pushing.
And also, Nonya, another thing is sometimes maybe your dream is not strong enough. That's why you back out. If you're convinced about what it is that you're to do, I tell my wife and some of my students, I say, I don't live in now. I live in that time of whatever it is that I'm thinking about. And that's what gets you through. Secondly, I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger that mentioned this. He's a man that won Mr. Universe 7 times, became a governor. His trajectory and his career path is one that is amazing if you really study him. Yes, we know him as the Terminator, but if you look at what he had to overcome to become...
Couldn't speak
English and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He says that I don't have... Okay, I'm trying to imitate him again. He says he never has a plan B. It's plan A, plan A, plan A. Plan B sometimes gives you a way out and weakens plan A. So if you're very convinced about something, no matter how small or big that thing is, you need to follow through. And more often than not, you will overcome it and you will get that thing. So doubt is part of the process, achieving is part of the process. And when you hit that jackpot, whatever that thing is, the fulfillment that you get can be put in words, can be quantified in money, in any currency, in any time, in any space. Trust me. Okay, so I wish you all the best. All right, any other questions? Yes, please, your name, who sold your pink suit, and where we can get it from. Wait, I love your suits, but not for 4 questions.
We'll now
So your name?
We're not going to launch the book.
Della. Sorry, slowly. Your name is? Stella. Okay, what do you do?
I run an edtech company that provides financial business literacy to young African entrepreneurs.
Fantastic. And your question?
Okay, first question, I want to ask, what kind of gift does Swastika like?
You want to waste your question on that question? You know you can meet him privately for that. Or better still, you can ask his wife. You can ask his wife. She knows the gifts.
Okay, second question. What role has mentorship played in your career? Looking back from how you started, and how do you recommend finding the right mentors, irrespective of the industry, the individual is playing? And the next question
Pause. That's a great question. Let's take that. I'll need to take this question and then we'll move on from there, okay? They're still going to be around, but we need to launch the book, and we also have people here. And don't forget, today is Sunday. Yeah, integrity dictates that some people are working tomorrow. All right, over to you, sir.
Well, I would say mentorship played a critical role for me. Unfortunately, again, I didn't get mentorship on time, so I had to rely on books. One of and so I had to get the mentorship from afar. One of those books was Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. You know, I mean, the day I finally was able to pay and host Robert Kiyosaki in person, I felt like crying, right? And he had no idea who he has been to me, right? I can give you many people, like, so I just had to buy their books, and that's why I keep writing books, because I'm aware that I have, at this moment, almost 3 million followers across all social media platforms. Not everybody can meet me in person, right? You can even see this, me too. We're still doing this version in Abuja. You can see how congested these places. And we have to be picking, you know, who we can even give access, because, I mean, so not everybody can reach me based on what we are doing and how we've inspired people. But the book can go where I cannot go. And the book can really teach more and share more. So for me, mentors helped, but for a long time, I couldn't meet them one-on-one because I couldn't afford them, they couldn't afford me. I hope you know. Right? But in recent years, as my results started speaking, right, many of the people I've been looking for started calling me. Right? I was shocked the day Bishop Oyedepo called me himself. Bishop Oyedepo will call you. Yeah, it hardly happened. Right? And then invited me to his house. We had a great conversation. I can give you a lot of those kind of humbling experience of people I look up to, because Bishop Oyedepo was my spiritual mentor for over 20 years. Right? But I never even had a sit down with him for over 20 years. Right? But when the time came, he called. Right? So, and that's the reality about life. There are some people you are chasing today. Don't worry. When your testimony and results start answering, they will call you. But go for their books, go for their materials, you know, consume it, act on what they are saying till you start getting results that will get them to say, wow, you know, you mean you said I inspired you, I want to get closer. Even Dr. Cosmos Madukadi said, when I told him that we met at the airport, and I said, I gave him one of my books. I said, by the way, I talked about you in this book. You know, and he was really humbled, and that's how we started our relationship. And it's been one of the best mentorship relationship I have as well today. But it took me years before I could get that level of, and I'm happy it took me years, because by the time I then could access them, I also was mature to manage those relationships.
Yeah.
Right? You will hardly find me ask any of my mentors for money. Right? If Dr. Cosmos is here, he will tell you, if I ask him for $10 million, he will not ask me to sign any document. Not one. But I've never asked. It's not because I don't need it. Right? Because I don't see mentors as people you prey on. Am I making sense at all? They are people you learn from. They teach you how to fish, not giving you the fish. When they give you the fish, sometimes they weaken your quest to be hungry, your thirst, right? So if they give you, accept it. I'm not asking you not to collect money from mentors they give you. Or not that you meet people just because, yeah, give me. Are we together now? Go for the what? Go for the lesson. The lessons are more important than the money. And God will help us all.
Amen. Please, a round of applause. Thank you for that. Stella, just to also add, there's something I also wanted to share with everyone, which I think Dr. Stephen has overlooked, not because he deliberately, but this is why I am here. You notice that he made reference more than once to the fact that people watched. People watched. People are always watching. All right? People are all, look, forget the social media world, forget comments, forget. People are always, and those that watch are the quiet ones. Yeah. And also it takes time. You said 20 years, I think. Mm-hmm. It takes time. I was on a stage first week in December called The Experience. I'm sure we all know about The Experience. Despite being a member of the church for about 20 years, despite being one of the top MCs in the country, the opportunity didn't come until last year and this year.
Wow.
And if you know, House on the Rock is the church I belong to. We are exceptional in any sector, for those who have been there long enough, which means that there is quote unquote competition. There is, somebody has to quote unquote leave before you have an opportunity. For those who studied media, who did radio, if there's a breakfast host, like in my time it was Dan Foster.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to Dan Foster in Unilag. I ended up working with him at Inspiration FM. I ended up being his boss at City FM as the head of programs. And we became lifelong friends till he passed on. It happened. Pastor Paul called me 3 days ago, telling me how good a job I did. Not that he didn't know me, not that he doesn't know my family, but there is a moment that comes where that 20 years, that 10 years prepares you for that one moment.
Yeah.
And that is the most scariest stage you can be on. It's millions of people across the world, the experience stage. It's a very spiritual stage. It's not just about your talent, it's about being ready. If they gave me that opportunity 10 years ago, I probably would have fumbled. If they gave it to me 15 years ago, I probably would have fumbled. So you need to give time for that opportunity to come, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a business opportunity, whatever it is. And like Dr. Stephen rightly said, now he was prepared. Do you get it? So it will come. And these mentors, you don't necessarily have to have them on a first-name basis. Everything most good mentors can do, they're already doing it, either in books, online, Twitter, Instagram, you can follow it. The question is, what are you practicalizing based on what you hear and what you see? And that's the difference. And hopefully we'll get to that point. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a round of applause to Dr. Stephen Akitaya. Thank you very much, sir. And we are proceeding to the moment we have all been waiting for, which is the launch of the books. Once again, like I mentioned earlier on, we have 2 of the books here. The first one is the ABC of America's Real Estate Investment, and the second one is the Global Real Estate Investment Handbook. I'll switch on to Simi J to give us some music while we set things up for the official launch. So those of you online, thank you very much for being here as well, while we coordinate this very quickly. Thank you.
Africa e Milani, Africa e Milani, Africa e Milani, Africa e Milani, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. Africa e Milani, Africa e Milani, Africa e Milani, Africa e Milani, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. I am not economic migrantee, I am not political terrorist, I am not the fraud email that you see, I am not the land of poverty. I am not economic migrantee, I am not political terrorist, I am not the fraud email that you see. I am not the land of poverty. La 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 Africa, Emilade, Africa, Emilade, Africa, Emilade, Africa, Emilade. Africa, Emilade, Africa, Emilade, Africa, Emilade, Africa, Emilade. The version of me you're creating your mind is not my own responsibility. Your version of me, the one you teach me the books, is not my own responsibility. I am a generation awakening, a dream come true in the image of God. I am a definition of humanity. Africa.
Round of applause to Simi J, ladies and gentlemen. I taught him everything he knows. Isn't that right, Simi? Am I not your mentor? Yeah. I want to take this time to recognize the presence of some of the dignitaries in the house. Of course, everyone we did acknowledge earlier on, but they joined us during the course of this event. We have Dr. and Mrs. Elo, the CEO of Petrocam, here with us. Please stand up for a very brief recognition. Google is your friend. Just Google Petrocam, you understand why. It's lovely to have not just one but both of them here in our midst. We talked about integrity earlier on, and the caliber of people here speaks to the integrity of Dr. Stephen Akitayo and the mission he is on. Mrs. Ubon King, who mentioned earlier on, thank you very much for being here as well. I think your daughter Adora. Okay, Adora was here a couple of minutes ago as well. We also have Mr. Dapo Shonibare and his son with us as well. Please stand up for recognition. The son is obviously more good looking than the father.
Isn't that our prayer?
It is a prayer, sir. Same thing with the bank accounts, it should be more. We also have the CEO of Nine Mobile in the person of Mr. Femi Banibe. Thank you very much for being here as well, sir. And Dr. Christopher. I have Dr. Christopher here. Oh, there we go.
I'll just say Mr. Christopher.
Mr. Christopher. Dr. Mr. Christopher. I'm just kidding. Thank you very much for being here as well. And of course, to each and every one of you that has been here, and where is the feedback coming from? Okay, I think it's you guys, the press, the camera people. Thank you very much, so we can move that here. I also want to take this time that each and every one of us, please just give yourselves a round of applause. To John, Adora, Jehanna, Nunez, Stella, questions very apt and very, very needed questions. I'm sure we could be here all day asking questions. Life lessons have been put in a book. And more importantly, what is better than experiencing someone else's life lessons is also implementing them in yours. And he has the blueprints in the two books. The first book is the ABC of America's Real Estate Investment. And the second book is the Global Real Estate Investment Handbook. Please, can we put on screen the barcode for our guests to also scan to give us an idea? Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I think it's much better now. To give us an idea of why we are here. So we are, the proceeds or the profits from the sale of the books will go to the Mercy Food Bank, which will be a food bank both here in Nigeria and in Texas in the United States, and is the first of many to come. And the essence of this is that at any point in time of anyone's journey, there will be moments where things are not really working according to plan. And the one thing that you do need is food. Dr. Stephen shared a personal story of his as well earlier on, where him and his brother and the brother's pregnant wife were without food for 2 days. And he has lived it, he understands it, and he's setting aside proceeds to ensure that this food bank is not only done, but done properly in a dignified manner for those who will be coming to the food bank. So I think it's a very laudable project and it deserves a round of applause. So on that note, I would like to welcome back again the man for this moment in the person of Dr. Stephen Akintayo, as we officially launch and kick off the books. Each of the packs is 100,000 naira tonight. You can do more, as of course the proceeds will go to the food bank as well. And for those of us watching online, you can see the accounts to pay into, and most importantly, move as the Spirit moves you as well. We appreciate as much as you can give, as this is going to a specific cause, but more importantly is the ripple effect of such benevolence and kindness. A life lived with value is one that is lived well. We have to have a purpose to why we do what we do, the money we make, the talent we have, the skills we have acquired over the years. You cannot go to, words of Denzel Washington, one of my favorite actors and most grounded men that I know. He says you can't go to heaven when you die, you leave the talent behind. So while you're alive, use yourself as a channel to push it to others in need as well. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, please, it is a great pleasure. Before you come up on stage, sir, please can we play the profile again for Dr. Stephen Akintayo, for those who missed that, so that we have an idea of the caliber of man that is coming up on stage, not just him, but the whole team and the work that he has been doing so far, and he's inviting you into his world to do more. Dr. Stephen Akintayo.
Is Africa's most influential investment coach. He is a member of the Forbes Business Council and a recipient of several prestigious awards, including the Forbes Best of Africa, Leading Investment Coach and Real Estate Mogul by Forbes Best of Africa Award. He is the chairman of GTEX Holdings and the founder of Stephen Akintayo Foundation. GTEX Holdings is the mother company of 11 subsidiaries with a highly innovative and young workforce. These subsidiaries include GTEX Homes, GTEX Land, Stephen Akintayo Foundation, GVest, GTEX Farms, GTEX and Associates, GTEX Academy, GTEX Soft, GTEX Hub. GTEX Holdings has several branches in Nigeria, which include Lagos State, Ibadan, Abeokuta, Asaba, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. Other offices are in Dubai, the UK, and the US. And the company plans to extend operations to other African countries like Ghana, Rwanda, and Uganda. Dr. Akintayo Real Estate Firm has a plan to build 25,000 green and smart homes with golf courses, polo clubs, mall, hotel, hospitals, schools, and universities across Africa by the year 2035, and control another set of 25,000 properties outside of Africa with a total real estate asset worth $40 billion by the year 2035. Dr. Stephen Akintayo is also the host of the Global Property Brokers Conference, the largest brokers conference in Africa, now renamed the Global Wealth Festival. Several renowned speakers like Grant Cardone, Ryan Serhant, Dr. John Maxwell, and others have been brought on the platform. Dr. Akintayo has hosted some of the world's most renowned speakers on his platforms like Robert Kiyosaki, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Dan Locke, Toby and Tomi Arayomi, Toby Adegboyega, and several others. He is the host of the Investment Chat in a Rolls-Royce, which teaches people about different investment opportunities around the globe. Learning Luxury Show, a show that educates on the benefits of owning luxury and monetizing it, and Big Talk Show, aimed at enlightening youths and the general public on election-related issues in order to build the new Nigeria. He is also the host of the Billionaire Habits podcast, Burj Khalifa series in Dubai. You can watch them on the Billionaire Habits podcast. Dr. Stephen is also the author of 42 books. His latest are The Billionaire Habits for Pastors, Billionaire Habits for Entrepreneurs, and Becoming a Billionaire Land Banker. All his books can be found in Dr. Stephen's books. To book him for speaking engagements, email stephen@kinteo.com and contact the number on your screen for more inquiries.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is nice. I'm sure we can do better than that. But I would like to say that it is nice to live in the time of Dr. Stephen Akintayo. You were born in the time of Dr. Stephen Akintayo, and this is a phenomenal man with a phenomenal story. And that story could easily be anyone's story in this room. Anyone. But you have the opportunity to write your own story with all the wealth of wisdom, knowledge, experiences that he's gone through. It's only right that you do this for yourself, for generations unborn, and all the things, all the secrets, quote unquote, that you feel is out of your reach. It's not. There was something Barack Obama mentioned recently at a podcast where he talked about when he got to certain tables and he sat with world leaders, he realized that, it's not really much of a big deal. The only difference is that these people had a different opportunity, a different path. But he said that when speaking to some of them sounded very stupid. He said that a number of them had degrees, a number of them found their way somehow into the same table that he was on. And basically, he was dismissing how much emphasis we put on things that are out of our reach. Human beings, institutions, certain rooms. You can be there. As long as you're alive and breathing, you can actually be in the room. You can be a decision maker. You can be a president. You can be that CEO. You can be that change. And it all starts from the mind. And the books we're about to launch this evening speak to that. And more importantly, speak to how you can live a fulfilled life, a comfortable life, a rewarding life. And it's also an opportunity to define success. What does success mean to you? You'll find all of that in these books. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please, a round of applause to Dr. Stephen Akintayo.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Once again, thank you all for coming. I'm so grateful. Like I said, this is the toughest time to invite anyone for anything, right? And I've experienced it myself. Sometimes you have 8 invitations in this Christmas season, and so for you being here, thank you. I'm really, really honored. It's time to launch the book, so please.
Okay.
I don't know how to do this.
You've written 42 books, sir.
But I usually don't launch book. I read, just put it on Amazon and then move on. So this is probably the first time. Babe. This is the first time I'm doing a book launch, if I'm correct. The second.
This is why you need the babes in your life. They'll correct it for you. All right, so in no particular order, it's with great pleasure, please, I do make welcome to join Dr. Stephen Akintayo. This speaks to no pressure for them to donate as the Spirit leads, as we will demand a specific figure from them. So if you hear your name, please approach the desk. Once again, please do make welcome Dr. and Mrs. Ilo, CEO of Petroleum Cam. Please join Dr. Stephen on stage. Mrs. Oban King, who will please grace stage with Dr. Stephen. Mr. Dapo Shonibare, please, I'll leave out his son.
How about my wife? What happened to me?
No, you save the best for last. And she has the password to your account anyway. So. Mr. Femi Banigwe, CEO of 9 Mobile, please make your way. And of course, Dr. Christopher, or Mr. Christopher, please join Dr. Stephen as well. So we're going to leave that there. So we have, and this is no pressure, but on this line we have close to 1 trillion naira. Am I correct? All in favor say aye. Aye. All we need is just 10%. So, okay. Oh, sorry, I just dropped internet. We'd also like to recognize the presence of Mrs. Tolu Onolaja. Please, thank you very much for being here, ma'am. And of course, please join us on stage. If you heard of Revolution Plus, that is the woman behind the powerhouse as well. Please, a round of applause to her. No, I'm bowing back to you, ma'am, so you can come up on stage. We would love your presence on the stage as well. And of course, last but not the least, is the phenomenal Babe. Is it Babe? Babe.
It's not for public.
It's not for public consumption. Mrs. Bisi Akitaya to join her husband on stage as well. Please clap. In proportion to the wealth you want, and the prosperity you want, and the land you want. Okay. So I think, Simi, what we're going to do is we're going to officially unveil the books from the box. Once again, it's about 100,000 here, but we would also like to hear from you and do more than 100,000, considering the cause. So Dr. Stephen, I think I'll hand over to Mrs. Akitaya to unbox. So we officially see what is in the box. I hear there's iPhone there, so I'm just kidding. So ladies and gentlemen, unveiling the first book, which is the ABC of America's Real Estate Investment. So I can show everyone here. Please, a round of applause. And of course, the second book, which is the Global Real Estate Investment Handbook. This particular one speaks to investments across 4 continents, according to Dr. Stephen Akitayo. And he's saying you might not find a book like this that has a wealth of experience and of course a map, so to speak, of how to deal with real estate in all of these continents. So what I'll do is I'll just hand over the mic, and please, would love to hear from you, whatever it is that you will be committing. Yes, I know you're under pressure. Unfortunately, I won't get my balance if you don't get the balance. But out of the kind gesture of your heart, you're here, and we really appreciate the time you've taken. You could be anywhere else, but you're here, and that speaks to how much love, respect you have for Dr. Stephen Akitaya, what he's doing, more importantly, and of course the whole G10. So please, a round of applause to our dignitaries here as well. So I'll just hand over the mic, and I'll move out of the way. We're starting our bidding from 1 million naira. Let me go and look for space at the back, because I might drop this in.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here. I think I've met Dr. Stephen Akitayo, and I think it's by collision of destiny we got to meet. That's the story for another day. But here, one of the things I do before I actually commit to people is in stages. I first of all assess. Once I assess, then I will trust. And when I trust, again, I check. And I've actually done all this metamorphic. And I've gone through those stages. I believe in what they do. Particularly also know the family and the children and my children too. They are so close to me. And
You can clap if you want to clap.
he said something about committing to food. And I know what it means. Forget about what people are doing today. All the makeups. There is hunger. And anywhere they mention food and where it has to go to, those who actually need it, I am good. I want to be there. It's not going to be long. I'm going to take 10 packs.
Thank you.
To actually.
pass the mic. Well, congratulations again, Dr. Stephen. And it's amazing. And like you just said right now, it's for a noble cause. I don't want to sound too political. I would have just said I would scribble it. I know, which is the usual style now for lunches. You would announce because of the times that we are in. But I can guarantee that I will take more than one, more than two, more than three, more than four. I hope that will work. God bless you all.
Congratulations, Dr. Stephen. I'm excited to be here. And I know what it means to package information in book format because I'm a writer. And anybody that takes up a book by a writer has that person's experience compressed, several years of experiences compressed in a book. So I appreciate the value of what is being offered tonight. And I'm not scared of being political. I've already sent a message to your wife. So but for now, I'm going to take a pack. And I've sent her a message. And I will do more. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here. I've known Dr. Kitayo for a while because we operate in the same industry. Then lately, I became close to his wife. I know he's very vast in real estate, and I'm happy that the book is launching. I'm going to particularly read those books. And of course, I'm very big on foundation when it comes to giving back and all of that. So I was talking to the wife, I said, when I just get to my seat, I'll do my transfer. I don't like to make announcements, but you can trust that once it's going for charity, it is what I want to do. Thank you very much.
Well, good evening, everyone. Dr. Stephen is a good friend of mine. I knew him back in 2012, right? Or 2013. And 2012, yes. And I can testify to how he started and where he is right now. So I'm very, very proud of what God has done in his life and the life of his family. I commend the tenacity of both himself and his wife. Both of them are phenomenal, and I really, really appreciate them. So I'm going to be taking a minimum of 2 packs.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Dr. Stephen Kitayo, I hear of, but I don't know about him much, but I hear of him. And how do I hear? He has a major follower in my home, my wife. My wife is always on, Dr. Stephen Kitayo, Mrs. Kitayo, she's on the thing. She's mentioning Dubai. She wants to sell Dubai. I said, me too, I have in Dubai to sell. Sell my own life. Because I have a timeshare in Dubai. I just put on the market. Say, I'll give it to her. Let her just sell for me. So she goes on and on about the Akitayos. And I said, okay, Akita. So we're parents in Corona. They were not parents in Edgewood. Awesome. Okay. Then all of a sudden she said, they said I should ask you to come to an event. How? When did they say yes? Now they say you told us should come. That they said I should come. Well, Sunday, today. I sleep on Sunday evenings now, so you have to come. It was starting from we have to go together to you go and take your boy along. So she now sit back. I said the two of you go. So well, I thank God. Meeting you, awesome. I'm heard of you from out there. Your trademark Agbada is really, putting you out there these days. I'm sure, all those Agbada must be plenty. If that's what you wear these days. However, I see your CV, awesome, and that means that you started early, focused with a vision. And I can tell you, I'm going to throw my boy in there. That's why I brought him here today. Honestly, some of us couldn't catch it that early. I'm also into real estate. I'm an surveyor and follower. I'm also a lawyer. I'm also a town planner. And I started early as well. In my early 30s, I started building things and all that. But you are big. Yes, you are big. I thank God for that. Talking about the food bank, I can tell you, my wife and I, we do a monthly food distribution as we speak now. Every month, she will cook. She doesn't get waiter. She cooks herself. She could cook for about 150 in her kitchen alone. I've never seen that kind of human being before. Alone, she'll be sweating. Okay, she said no, she needs to do it herself. Maybe okay, she can call one of the domestics and say, okay, you join, because they'll package, she'll buy food packs, she'll put it all in a tray and all that, and then she sends me to go and distribute. I now see me personally distribute I start with the security men in our estate, start to give them one by one. If any remaining, I go to the church, I give all the security men one by one, they're happy. After that, I move on to the highway, the beggars. I have one or two people now who anchor, I just give it to them. How many of you are here? Then if it remains, I go to Kano Street, not Kano Street, the new, where they, beggars, they have a place that they stay. Then I drop it all there. We do that, and I thank God that I can actually identify with what you're doing here. Well, I will commit that definitely minimum 1 pack. But because I have a boss at home that I need to report to, the number of packs we're going to take will be determined when I get back and say, I have delivered on your errand. So then, what I can actually say here, on my own, 1 pack minimum. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mr. Dakoshedivari. I wanted to also take this time to also formally introduce his son, Ibukun, who is also into real estate, tech, and law as well. So please, a round of applause to Ibukun. Give him another medal. With tech, all these 20 years also, we've also with tech, he did it probably like 3 years. And we'll be attending his book launch. But thank you all very much. Has anyone not spoken yet? I think we're all good. All right, thank you very much. Please, a round of applause to our distinguished guests. So we want to do a group picture. Please, can you just hold, do you want the books itself or the pack? The pack, okay. I think we should have the books. Let's have them. Yeah, just hold them, sure. So let's have it here. So give them a copy, some copies of the book. Once again, thank you very much to each and please a round of applause to them. Please a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get everyone behind this so we can have one full shot. Please, can we have the backdrop, multimedia, can we have the backdrop of the banner of why we're here, so that can come out. No, not that one, the other one. Photography, can we take all? Who's taking this picture?
Taking the picture.
Because the light is, I think we might need to turn off the...
Can you come forward? The guy taking picture.
Who's taking the picture?
Turn off the lights.
So can we turn off the projector? I'm so sorry, do you mind if we get everyone here? I don't know how we're going to do it, but can we come here, sir? Let's everyone get behind it so the projector lights won't be in the way. This way, sir. Dr. Stephen?
You can't.
Can we have you by the side? So can we just have in here, if possible? Who's taking the picture? Let's know what you need, okay? So that the lights won't be in the way. Let's do one to cut. So come closer, so sorry. So we can have two levels. So you need to be here. So come here, you come here, this way. So take it from here, so sorry, we'll have to excuse you, I'm so sorry. My apologies. Simi, let's have some music. Where is the photographer? Okay. Are you good?
And I'm
Okay. So can we get one more again? Do you have everything taken? Is this yours, man? Let's be on the safe side. Are we good? Everyone say ABC. Fantastic. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to our distinguished guests. Yeah, so dinner is ready. So dinner is ready. We can take pictures. The ushers, can we let us know? Okay. Which table? So the only people eating this evening are those that have got book. Hey? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But please, no matter how small the contribution is, it goes a long way. So please feel free to also buy your box as well. You can come together and buy a box, but let's just put something out there as well. Can we have the bank account details? Okay. For those who still want to make pledges, I will hand over the mic while Simi J gives us the time. But it's time for dinner as well, so we can have some time to put some food in the belly. It has been quite an eventful evening tonight. And once again, thank you to each and every one of you for making it this evening. Okay. So for those making pledges, please, I'll hand over the mic. Let us know who you are, your pledge, and how many boxes minimum out of 10.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Ramsey Daniel. I'm a lawyer and a real estate investor. I'm from Delta State. As Dr. Stephen McIntyre has been a very motivating factor in my life. 4 years ago when I met him, and when I got back to Delta State, I did purchase lots of lands, running into acres. And today I've been in Lagos since on Friday. Yesterday we were at the Brokers Conference. It was amazing. For the lunch, though I'll be buying for my staff, but for today, I will just be needing a minimum of one book while I read them in my hotel room later on. And I want to commend Dr. Stephen McIntyre and pray for him. That God will continually provide him, protect him always, and his family. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Akenle Odudari. Pleasure meeting Dr. Stephen for the first time, even though I follow him actively. I'm proud to say I've read his books. My wife went for one of his events, came with books, and I think I passed on two, gave one to my pastor friend because I'm not a pastor. Thank you for what you do, sir. Much appreciated. And on behalf of me and my wife, we're going to start with two. And also committed to the foundation because we also do it by the side. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kemi Williams. So on behalf of I and my husband, I'm Director of Tetraco Energy and the President of the Next Page Life Foundation. So on behalf of the foundation, I would pick say 3 and okay.
Thank you very much. Any other pledges? Just let me know by signifying your hands. You will be late for dinner. Okay. So we'd like the first two tables. Oh, okay.
Good evening, everyone. To support the book launch, I'll be taking one back. I'm the chief list officer of Greenwich Merchant Bank.
So you should be taking like 50 parts then. Thank you very much. We're going to start with these two tables for dinner, and then we'll proceed table by table. I'm sure everyone wants a little something to eat tonight. But once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being part of a phenomenal evening towards not just the book launch, but to Mercy Food Bank as well. The boxes are still here. We're still waiting for you to redeem the boxes. So the first two tables, please. Please.
Okay, so on behalf of me, my Owolabi, and my precious wife, we also start with one, then we extend it to others. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody. So it's a privilege to be here, and Doctor has been a blessing to me. And I've seen at several times how transformation has come for me, even as a novice in the real estate field. And through his teachings and his books, his lecture, and some of his mentorship, it has helped me yield more. And so from me this evening, I'm going to be starting with just one box. Just one box.
Hi, good evening everyone. My name is Celia. I'm an interior designer, so I'll be starting with one box as well. Sorry, one box. Alright.
Good evening. My name is Christian. I'm also happy to be here. My wife knows Dr. Stephen much better than I know from today. And happy to buy one book. I'm an AI consultant. My wife is an interior designer. So happy to talk to each of you. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a POS machine as well, so we can get it right now. Mr. Ikena is with the POS machine. If you have any other commitments as well, please let us know. If you also want to talk about it, please, I'll bring the microphone over to you. Dinner will be served in a couple of minutes. How many people feel or have felt the impact this evening? If you did, let me just see if I raise up your hand. If wisdom was shared, experience, knowledge was shared. It has been quite a phenomenal evening tonight. Please, can we change the backdrop of the... I think we should even leave it up. Huh? We should leave it up. It's part of the publicity. Fantastic. The one and only Omotua, my mentor. You are taking 50 books, 50 packs. Yeah, where am I doing? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the food is ready. Feel free to make your way table by table as dinner is being served. It has been quite an eventful evening. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here tonight, for being part of the story. Mercy Food Bank, the books that are being launched, of course, it's Dr. Stephen Akitayo Foundation.
I took your book. It's like I wanted to jot donations down. So what is inside? I've inside the bag.
And when the laughing come anything they want to walk and when the laughing come anything they want to walk Maybe I know you wanna be that superstar shining in the sky, the light in your attitude. Maybe I know you wanna pop champagne, sweet lazy life. The lies in your attitude. Baby, I know you wanna be a good leader. You want to go campaign, you want to blow siren, you want to take the money, you want to blow the whistle. Everybody for here, Ajekun, Eugene, Iwalewa, Kuluwa, Freedom, Ilola. Korini, Fewani, oh. Iwalewa, Kuluwa, Freedom, Ilola. Korini, Fewani, Leye. Don't go, Kulibani to wash your life. Koni watu masheo, Physician, go, Kulibani to wash your life. Koni watu masheo, and when me laughing come jail, and meeting there right here walk it. And when he laughing come jail, and meeting there right here walk it. And when he laughing come jail, and meeting there right here walk it. And when he laughing come jail, and meeting there right here walk it. Baby, I know you wanna be a sound lawyer, but you're afraid to talk. Baby, I know you wanna be a brave pilot, but your eyes slip too high. Your lies in your attitude. Baby, I know you wanna speak, oh, speak your truth to the world, but you're afraid of persecution. Lies in your attitude. You are never gonna feed down in the love. Corey me, Ferrari. You are never gonna feed down in the love. Corey me, Ferrari. Don't go, couldn't buy me to wash your life. Call me up to my show. Lo, 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 lo. Anyone in Africa, major. Lo, lo, lo. A meeting, be one year, walk in the rain. Shabada, anyone in Africa, major. Lo, lo, lo. A meeting, be one year, walk in the rain. Satara, anyone in Africa, major. Anything be one year walk in there. And when he laughing come major. Anything be one year walk in there. Thank you.